For more on that, let's welcome in RNC Senior Advisor Danielle Alvarez, along with host of Ed Henry The Briefing, the one and only Ed Henry. Thanks for joining us this morning. So, Danielle, I'll come to you first. It does not look like the battle is going to be going well today in the House. Andy Harris suggested to us on the show just about maybe 5 minutes ago that they're going to hold this thing. Maybe the House, the Senate, they have an informal conference committee, work out their differences, and then start this thing over and make the amendments that are needed to get it across the finish line.
I'm the eternal optimist here. I think that even if it doesn't go our way today, the reality is that Republicans are fighting along the margins to make this big, beautiful bill as good as possible, to make sure that they include not only the president's campaign promises, again, permanently securing our border, extending President Trump's tax cuts for the American people, but fighting along the margins to make this the best bill possible. I certainly hope that they can meet the July 4th deadline. You know, it may not be possible today given the conversations, but how wonderful that Republicans are having these conversations in the open. Such a stark contrast from the failure of the Biden administration, from the failure when Democrats were in control. We see President Trump engaging, and I'm hopeful that whether we meet the July 4th deadline or not, we're going to deliver on the promises President Trump made to the American people.
Ed, are you an internal optimist like Danielle?
Yes.
I know you've interviewed senators and Congress members the past few weeks. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree with Danielle. I think the X factor is President Trump. He's riding high right now. I mean, if you get beyond the domestic stage, look what's going on the international stage. While these negotiations are going on, he last night gets a 60-day ceasefire in place, potentially here with Israel and Hamas, a ceasefire in Gaza on top of the one with Iran, not to mention the trade deals. The stock market's on fire right now. They're starting to build in the idea of making these Trump tax cuts permanent. So I think the bottom line is Mamdani is the other X factor here, the socialist who may be the next mayor of New York City, and here's why. There's no longer a middle in American politics. It's either MAGA or socialism. It's America first or socialism. So those 20 or so House Republicans that Mark was talking about, I get it. Their views matter. But they're going to get in a room today with the Speaker of the House and maybe get on the phone with the president, no doubt, and say, there's no middle ground. It's not like Chuck Schumer's got some moderate plan here to move forward. It's either America first or socialism. You want to give the socialists a win, or you want to give the president and, more importantly, the American people a win. That's why I think this is going to happen.
Well, Danielle, I mean, to Ed's point, I'll put my old hat on, which is now your hat. And, you know, obviously we used to do this together a lot. I mean, the president is on quite a winning streak. He does not need the bill by Friday for that to continue. You've got Bibi Netanyahu coming here next week. I have always said from the beginning, I thought the true deadline should be the August recess. When Congress leaves for 6 or 7 weeks, they go home and they get to go start campaigning on the great, big, beautiful bill that they just passed and the president signed. Isn't that a better timeline to get an even better bill across the finish line?
The president pushes hard. He goes 100 miles an hour. We've all seen it firsthand, and everyone else is expected to keep up. He has made these promises to the American people, and as I've said time and time again, it is good governance that will allow us to remain in control in the House, in the Senate. It will allow us to continue to win in these midterm elections, which is a difficult feat. But of course, the greatest asset we have, as everyone on here agrees, is President Trump. These wins that he is accruing, the House and the Senate working together, Republicans working together and governing well. These tax cuts will make a difference. The economy on fire will make a difference. As Ed Henry said, peace through strength on the world stage. President Trump is racking up win after win. And again, I will repeat one last time, good governance by the Republicans. Whether they meet the July 4th deadline, we go a couple days, a week or so over, we've got to get it done.
Yeah, that'll come together. Ed, before we go, I'd like to get your reaction to Trump's special event in Iowa this week to celebrate America's 250th anniversary. Now, Iowa voted for Trump 3 times, and as Trump likes to put it, the crowd's going to be huge.
Yeah, I think this is a president who's bringing back patriotism, love of the flag, love of country. Iowa is the center of the country. We all know from traveling there for campaign coverage and all the rest of it that it's where the presidential campaigns start. He's probably feeling nostalgic about his last presidential campaign. a big victory, obviously. He wants to kick off this 250th anniversary, right? And I guess that gets back to the other point we've all been making. You either are going to see a president with a big victory in Iowa at this big picnic and, let's rally around the flag and he's on that winning streak, or you don't want to be one of those 20 House Republicans who's holding this up and having him at this rally saying, did you know this guy is holding it up? Call this lady here. And I think those House Republicans are going to feel the heat. He wants a big victory there Thursday night before the 4th. I think he might get it.
I have no doubt he will call out names if it goes to that.
I have a feeling Ashley Henson will be a yes.
Danielle.
And we will be covering that Thursday night live here on Newsmax, that big event. So, yeah.
All right, Danielle, Ed Henry.
Okay.
Ed, we'll see your show later on tonight. Thank you so much.